Hello, my name is Justin, and in this project, I'll be investigating into how LiDAR can be used in the fight against global warming. Over the past few years, there have been many indications that global warming and climate change are becoming more concerning. On June 29, 2021, the town of Lytton, British Columbia, known as the hottest place in Canada, recorded the highest temperature ever in Canada. The town of Lytton was sadly devastated by wildfires the very next day. The extreme temperatures are just one of the effects of climate change that Canada is facing. Due to climate change, natural disasters are happening much more frequently. If we cannot repair the damages from these disasters quickly, the damages from future events would worsen. Transportation is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions that lead to climate change. One of the solutions is to transition to more electric self-driving vehicles. I believe that LiDAR can play a key role in supporting our fight against climate change. It can help in reducing the effects of climate change, such as in improving disaster management processes. It is also able to mitigate some of the contributors to climate change like gasoline cars by enabling automation in vehicles. I started my research on this project in July of 2021 and recorded all my findings in my scientific logbook. All the information was gathered from government and corporate websites, news articles, and scientific reports. Some of the sites used were the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration, Global News, and Forbes. At the start of the project, I interviewed a local forest firefighter who is now a disaster management subject matter expert. We discussed about how LiDAR was being deployed to assist in firefighting and disaster management. All my project findings were shared with my teacher, friends, and family. I also had my project reviewed by several professors and industry experts at the University of Calgary. Their feedback and insights were then incorporated into my final write-up. I also built a demonstration model that could generate a 360 degrees 2D LiDAR map of its surroundings. LiDAR is also known as light detection and ranging. There are two main components of a LiDAR camera. The first component is a rapidly firing emitter which sends out the laser, which is called a pulse. The laser travels at the speed of light to an object and is reflected by the object. This is called a return. The receiver on the LiDAR camera would detect the returning laser. To find out the distance, it uses the formula distance d equals the speed of light c times the time t divided by 2. As shown in the picture, one pulse of light can record multiple reflections. For example, smaller objects like branches and leaves that have gaps around it allow a portion of the light to pass through them and gets reflected off other objects like the ground. Using recycled household objects and an entry-level LiDAR camera, I built a demonstration model to generate a 360 degrees 2D LiDAR map of its surroundings. From this model, I was able to better understand the mechanics of a LiDAR camera. I reused a small Amazon delivery box as the enclosure. The box was split into 4 equal quadrants and I assigned a different color to each quadrant. Then I placed the LiDAR camera in the middle of the box. It can spin in a 360-degree circle at around 450 rotations a minute. The LiDAR camera was connected to my computer and the readings would be used to create a 2D map using a software application. First, I created a 2D map of the inside of the box. Once an object was placed inside of the box, the 2D map would change accordingly. LiDAR is much more accurate and can create more detailed images than radar. For example, for an object that's 100 meters away, LiDAR's accuracy is only several centimeters or the diameter of an M&M candy, while radar's accuracy is several meters. Second, you can quickly survey a large geographical area with LiDAR. For example, a team of researchers in Mexico took around 6 months to survey 2 square kilometers of land. With LiDAR, they were able to map an ancient city with a much larger area in just 45 minutes. Lastly, by changing the wavelength of its lasers, LiDAR cameras could look through water. This can help researchers scan the bottom of different bodies of waters easily. One of LiDAR's drawbacks is its range. LiDAR's range is approximately 200 meters, while radar's range is about 3,500 kilometers. LiDAR is still very costly. Today, a LiDAR camera used by self-driving cars costs $1,000. If it was raining or snowing heavily, the lasers from the LiDAR camera might reflect off the rain droplets or snowflakes, giving it inaccurate readings. Natural disasters are occurring more frequently and getting more intense due to climate change. In my report, I had more details about how LiDAR was being used in disaster management efforts in hurricanes and volcanoes. In this presentation, I'll focus on forest fires. A natural disaster occurring frequently in Alberta. MNP reported that 993 wildfires burned over 880,000 hectares of land in just the spring of 2019. This was 8 times the area burned in the California wildfires the same year. In California, LiDAR was implemented to assist with their firefighting efforts. For example, by knowing the elevation of the land, commanders could find the quickest but safest route for their on-site crew to carry out tasks. From a planning perspective, disaster management agencies are able to use LiDAR datasets to better plot the different areas that required more permanent fortifications to reduce the frequency and impact of future forest fires. The Government of Canada reported that transportation accounted for 25% of the total national greenhouse gas emissions. One potential solution is to transition to more electric self-driving vehicles when applied to a new business concept known as transportation as a service. According to EDF Energy, electric cars will produce around 30% less carbon emissions. With self-driving cars, the LiDAR camera scans its surroundings to check where everything is. Since the camera is spinning so quickly, it can easily detect if the distance to an object in its surroundings has changed. A disadvantage of using LiDAR in self-driving cars is the glare. For example, if you are driving through a tunnel which was very dark, and you just drove out of the tunnel on a sunny day, you would need to give your eyes some time to readjust to the light. This is the same for LiDAR, as it requires some time to recalibrate. Transportation as a service is a combination of many new technologies, the most important being electric self-driving cars. Imagine being able to walk out of your home, call a self-driving vehicle from your phone like an Uber or taxi, and ride it to school or work every day. This is the general concept of TaaS. This is not a futuristic idea. In fact, Waymo, a company owned by Google, has already 300 self-driving cars in Phoenix in the United States. Based on my research, I truly believe that LiDAR can play a key role in supporting our fight against climate change. Climate change has resulted in more intense and frequent natural disasters recently. LiDAR can increase the pace of disaster recovery efforts. Forest wildfires occur in Alberta every year. Since the United States have had great success with using LiDAR in its battle against wildfires, I feel like the province of Alberta should implement this too. Transportation is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions that lead to climate change. Transitioning to a future business concept known as transportation as a service that uses electric self-driving cars could help combat this. The School of Engineering at the University of Calgary has been experimenting with solar-powered cars for many years, and I feel they should consider making it autonomous too. Nearly 800 million people globally are undernourished. In Alberta, I feel like LiDAR could be used to increase the agricultural yield in farms. The University of Inner Mongolia is researching on using LiDAR in precision agriculture. I want to learn more about this, and hopefully that involves me traveling to Inner Mongolia because I've always wanted to ride on a camel. Thank you for listening. Bye!